Hello everyone, my name is Kurazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. Do you like my pom-pom? You better like my pom-pom. It's amazing. We are back in the world on this rather precarious spire here, and I spent the night. There were a bunch of drifters around. There are just a couple now, and one almost managed to get us here, actually right at the end of the last episode, and I blocked off its path, and now it is gone. Hopefully back down that hole. Anyway, today is a big day for us. We have a lot to do, a lot of ground to cover. Well, metaphorically more than physically. And we need to get to it because that sun ain't gonna wait for anybody. So, let's get to it. First thing is we need to take our bed with us, and we are going to head down there, clean up those drifters, and they've multiplied. It is calm now, though, so maybe they'll stay gone once we get rid of them. Oh, there's more? Oh my goodness. Alright, let's go take care of these guys. First order of business. There was one more here, wasn't there? There was. I swear there was. Anyway, now that that is taken care of, and well, I guess we'll deal with the rest as they show their faces, or what sort of remains of their faces, assuming they had them in the first place. I want to get up there because we first need to secure a spot for us to rest our heads. And I'm sorry, buddy, but you need to just stay here. There you go. So I'm going to get up here and see what's up here. A drifter. Hello. You hit me through my shield and my armor. Ooh, I don't like this. Okay, we're not going to hang out here. I think it's going to be where we don't rest our heads. So instead, let's go ahead and try getting up there if we can't. Excuse you. I saw that. I saw that. Oh, I was... Oh. What is even going on up there? Let's get... Oh, one more coming down. Okay, I can handle that. Oh, oh boy. Really now. What is up here? All manner of trouble, looks like. Hey, does this, I kind of think that the torches seem to be a bit redder in color with their light. Wouldn't you agree? I recall their light being kind of bluish before, honestly. Anyway, I think this is as good a place as any to maybe just sort of temporarily put down some roots. After I take care of this and that, just to prevent some spawns, if possible. They can't leap across from there. So I think we're going to temporarily set up shop right here. I think we'll get tired of this rushing of water, so I may take out some of these waterfalls, especially the ones like right here by our temporary entrance. But I think I'll clean up more later after we actually get sort of a more permanent abode ready. And first things first is we need to drop some stuff on the ground. Let's put down our bed. And we're going to want a second bed, because I do want to get one of the 7-hour beds in, the straw beds, so we don't have to spend so much time or waste so much time sleeping. Second thing is we are setting our spawn right here. There we go. And we do have one more that we can actually... Well, we have 7 more, but we have one more that I've sort of committed to setting our spawn. And next I want to drop our chest, and I'll do that right here. I'm going to get out as many things as I can and just lay them out so that we have some spare storage space. We're going to put you back there. We're going to get out, we'll trade the armor, and we're going to get out all of the ingots and stack them up. And then, what else do we need to get out of here? I want to take some of you out, I think. We're going to drop a light here, and here, and here. And we'll take our torches back. And now we have a very basic but workable shelter for us to start from. Let's see, we do have a hammer, so I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make a tool rack, and we will leave any tools that we don't need at the exact moment in the rack, although I think we do need all of these, so we'll leave it alone. Just put the hammer in there for now. And what can we put in here? We can put you, we can put some of these seeds probably. 3.8 hours. You're not going to last very long. Just keep eating you. And there we go. We have freed up a bit of inventory. We have, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inventory slots available to us at the moment. So that means we can get on to the next assignment. Now that we're in the south, we're going to do sort of a quick bootstrapping, which, I mean, is kind of obvious by the stack of steel ingots back there. But that means that we are going to kind of rush through some of the early game stuff that we spent a long time working on back in the original dozen or so episodes of the series. So some of this will be familiar, but it's going to be in new lands and with different materials. We need to get a few things going. We need to start with some storage, because our inventory is still a bit full. We need a forge to heat those ingots behind me so we can work them on the anvil. We need coal for the forge. We need food. For that we need a hoe. And we'll probably also want a bucket so that we can move some water around and water our early farm. So we are going to get onto all of that pretty much right off the bat. We are going to need some clay for the forge, because we need to use cobblestone for that, so we need to go find some clay. We need some wood in order to make most of the things we're talking about. And we need some baskets to get started. And we need, if we can't find coal, which I don't think we can here because it's all, well, it's granite here. We have sandstone nearby. So there could very well be some coal out there. And we need some flint, because I don't really want to make a steel hoe. It kind of seems like a, woo! Almost just did that. Okay, you know what? Let's, we're gonna resolve this problem right about now. There, and we'll just know that that is a hole by the fact that it's patched over funny like that. So, we're gonna get some flint for some hoes, and we'll probably need just a couple hoes. Although, you know what? We could also just use granite for hoes, too, so we'll grab some of these on the ground. Oh, we have some copper here. That's not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. So I can just do this. There we go. I think one more patch of stone ore. There we go, that should be enough flint. Alright, next we're going to chop down some trees. And I do want to save some of these vines, because I do want to use them for decorations. I'm going to grab a few of these. And now let's take our axe to these trees. I am not too worried about seeds at the moment, because there are plenty of bulb cypress trees out here, so I am not terribly worried about conservation at this point. So, down you two come. Blam, there we go. And the rain of wood and twigs hits us on the head. Oh dear, there's another one. You know, we're gonna just take a moment, take a breather, and we're gonna just patch that. This is the first one, isn't it? Hey, there's clay right there. Neat. Let's just grab some of this dirt here. And I want to patch that up because I absolutely know I will fall into that hole if I don't do something about it right now. You scared the bejesus out of me. Oh my goodness, where did you come from? Did you just like spawn right there? Like right now? Okay, patch time. And I am picking up a few more stones here, even though I can just get some more with my pickaxe later. I figure we'll just clean up some of these stones so I don't get fooled into thinking they are something they're not. But seashell. You can stay. But I do want to grab just a few pieces of clay. We don't need much to start. This is not a hole. That's good. And so I'm just going to grab enough to make enough cobblestone in order to make our first forge down here. So I think we'll just need, like, I don't know, probably just one block, honestly. And while we're here, we should go ahead and harvest some of these so we can make some baskets. And we'll move... You know what? We'll leave these here for now. I don't have space for them at the moment, and we will just take the papyrus. These are used in the exact same way as the cattail reeds. There is a minor quirk, though, where the recipes that let you retain some of these, like when you get cattail reeds back from things like breaking skeps, if you make the skep out of papyrus, you don't get papyrus back. You get cattail reeds. Kind of weird, but there you have it. So I'm just going to get some of these cattail reeds, and then I'll meet all of you back up at the base where we can start on some of these little projects that we need to get moving on in order to survive here in these new lands. Okay, a slight accidental lie. I realized we need some grass because we need that bed as well as the ability to make fire pits, and I figured, you know what, let's get enough grass to make some pit kilns. And you know what, while we're getting pit kilns going, why don't we go ahead and just get some more of that blue clay that's right nearby, so that we can start making some storage vessels, because now that we're in the south, the ambient temperature is much higher. I mean, kind of obviously, but that introduces a new challenge in terms of preserving food. We're going to need to be extra careful with making sure that we keep our food in a cellar, which we never had trouble with before, but it's going to be that much more important now, and I don't think the cellar is going to offer quite as much protection as it did, because temperatures often got decently low up on Lupine Ridge. Up into medium, so we're going to make this real quick. Okay, now that we're up here, I think the first order of business is going to be to get some storage thrown down. So let's do that. There we go. I think 3 baskets should do fine. And we can maybe even steal one of these to take on our backs with us when we go out adventuring again. And still no drifters, so that's a good sign. Next up is going to be dropping as many things as we can into these baskets. I'm going to put some of this plant stuff in here. Maybe some seeds too. You know what, we'll do seeds in this basket. Excellent, we have some spare storage space. Okay, next, let's go ahead and just make this forge. There we go. We have 8 cobblestone. And now we have 1 forge and 1 cobblestone. It's a feat of quantum compression, I'll have you know. And let's just put you, I guess, sort of here. We won't really use this space for anything at the moment. And we'll just put you there. You're our first granite cobblestone of the south. Hope you feel good. Next, we're going to find our flint and make ourselves a few stone hoes. I'm thinking 4 or 5 should be plenty. There we go, and we'll even make a fresh rack to store some of these. And we'll just put you all here. There we go. Hoes are sorted. Next, let's take care of our coal situation, which is to say we have none. And we're just going to make probably 1 little bit of charcoal to get us started, because we have a few tools to make, but honestly, only a few at this juncture. So I think that 1 little bit of charcoal should be plenty. Charcoal pit, and we'll go ahead and light you and cover you up, and somehow we don't die of smoke inhalation. And the last thing, as I mentioned, we need some clay vessels, because these will help us store our food for longer. So let's see how much 1 takes, and then we will figure out from there if we can make a second one with the material we have on hand. You know, I don't think we quite have enough. I think we need about, what is it, 30? So we're just going to make do with the one for now. And let's go ahead and find a place to fire this thing that's not next to our baskets. That would be bad. You know, we'll just sort of build this up. I don't want to dig into the stone too much, so we'll just do it this way. There you go. And we have a few sticks to put in. And then we're going to need a couple more pieces of firewood. There we go. And okay, everything that is wooden is not anywhere nearby. Good. Alright. Let's light this puppy up. No, not like that. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now, something I wanted to do is, yes, I do indeed want to close these off. We're going to just stop that. Because as much as I enjoy the sound of, hey, fireflies, of rushing water, no, do you have to? Did you really have to do that? I don't think that was necessary at all. Thank you. I think I just want to go up there and cut that off at its source, so that's what we're going to do. Sorry, buddy, but this noise is just too much for the moment. That should at least get rid of that annoyance. At some point, I'll add some water back in, and probably sort of farther toward the outside of the area, so it isn't quite so eardrum rattling. And once that water dissipates, it should stop the sound. And I think we are on the way. We have 12 to 16 more hours to wait for the charcoal, and we have 22 or 3 more hours to wait on our first clay vessel. So we will have to get back to those probably tomorrow evening, but tomorrow we'll go ahead and we will start our farm. And to get to tomorrow, I think it would behoove us to make ourselves our first cheapo bed and have a bit of a nap in it. Just put you there, sure. So comfy. I see the water sound has not dissipated. Is it because... it's because of you. Okay, well we might want to take care of that too at some point. Maybe sooner rather than later. But for the moment, I think I will rest my head and fall asleep to the sound of that water after I eat these rotting cabbages to keep myself satiated. Good night. I'll snuggle with my teddy cabbage. Good morning. I am holding my sword because apparently it's windy, even though I don't really see much evidence of it in here. Let's go see what it looks like outside. Ooh, I can hear it. Oh my goodness. That is ugly. Well, you know what? Let's go and take care of these guys. We have a new home to defend. Anyway, let's grab the hose that I forgot to bring with me, and we're going to go and find a place to start a farm so that we don't starve. Now you'll notice that I am not bringing with me any of the terra preta, and that's because what we're making here is going to be a very temporary farm. Still hearing groans up there. And I don't want to have to put down the terra preta and then wait for it to recover before we move it again. So I just want to find a nice flat place somewhere around here and build a little farm. There's some flat area over there, and there's some flat area over here. It's a bit far though, so let's just do it right down here. You know what? Here we go. This is even better. Even closer. Are you? You're just a little dell. So we will take down some of this. We will maybe plug you. What even are you? You are the most useless of pits, so we will just plug this up. And then we will set our first farm down here. Right here. Shovels out. Okay, now for the plots. I'm going to go ahead and just do a full 64 plot by thinking 2 rows of the same kind of layout we had at home. So what we'll do is we'll have a sort of circle of 8 around a square of what will be water eventually. And we'll just do this 4 more times, or 3 more times. And then we'll copy it on the second row. There we go. A nice basic little farm. And just like up north, if we have grass around, that means that the game can spawn rabbits in. So, before we go ahead and plant any seeds, we need to figure out how we're going to protect this. Now, the most basic thing to do is we could just take this dirt and make some packed dirt and make a 2-block high wall of packed dirt, and that would stop them pretty lickety-split. But that is horrible and ugly looking, so we're going to commit some more deforestation, and we're going to make some of the rough-hewn fences out of this bald cypress over here. After I dump off some of this dirt in a basket. Alright, trees, yield to me your wood, please. Thinking 2 trees should be enough. It might even be... Actually, that's going to be probably well more than enough. Did I get any seeds this time? Nope. Okay, let's go and make these fences, and now I'm worried I have enough sticks. So again, to make the rough-hewn fences, we'll make the gate first. We need 4 sticks arranged like this. We'll put our axe up here, and we need 4 logs like so. We get some rough-hewn gates, and it is my understanding that this recipe is no longer as generous as it used to be for these guys, so let's see what we get. We get 8. I think we got 12 before? You know what? That's not terrible, honestly. I can live with that. 32, let's start with 40. And we're going to put 1 gate on this side, I suppose right here, and 1 gate on this side, just in case. Okay, I guess you always face the same direction. That's fine, I guess. Why not? Cool. I guessed pretty perfectly there. And then I did bring along our seeds, and we're going to plant a couple odds and ends. You'll notice that the south has kind of a dearth of crops that are specifically southern vegetables. The only one that's a true vegetable, or that can be eaten as one, is cassava. And the south also seems to have a lot of crops that are potassium dependent, and potassium crops tend to just really suck it out of the soil. So I did have to, instead of using rice, I'm going for amaranth, and that's because the rice was going to use something like 50% of the potassium, and we're already kind of potassium heavy over here. And I also have some peanut seeds, and they are, to my knowledge, the only real southern crop that is a phosphorus crop. I want to do basically 2 circles each of these, although we only have 15 peanuts, but that isn't a problem. There we go, all planted. Now, we will want to put some water in here, but I'm not too worried at the moment because it is raining almost all the time, as it says so over here. So these should stay pretty well hydrated pretty much all the time. So there we go. Let's go in and check on the status of our charcoal and our clay, but first I'm going to gather a bit more clay so that we can make a few more clay odds and ends. Also, as I was coming out here, I decided it would be a good idea to light this up so that we don't have quite so much of a drifter party whenever it's kind of high on the rift activity scale. And I think it does the job. I even stuck one in that little cave down there, and across there. So you're still going, but I do think that you might be about done. I don't see any smoke, so I think we're ready to start making some tools. Alright, the moment of truth. What do we have? We have 6 layers of charcoal, not too shabby. Why am I using my hands? This isn't much, but it will do nicely to get us our first few new tools. And we're going to need another rack for these tools, aren't we? Good thing I have just enough sticks and not enough to make any tool shafts. Oh well. Now, the first tool that we need today is absolutely 100% a saw. Next, I would like to make a scythe so that we can collect grass, and shears so that we can shear some tree leaves for tree seeds and for sticks. Lastly, I'd like to make a chisel so we can start on some chisel projects at some point, and because there are some, of course, blocks that do require the chisel. And then, just to be safe, we're going to make one more hammer and one more pickaxe. And that will be our tasks for probably the rest of this night. And I threw away all of our rotting cabbage, and I've put our soup pot back here. We have a meal in it that's only good for a day. I want to see if keeping it back here will make it last a bit longer. I have my doubts. Let's go ahead and we're going to heat up 4 ingots, and we're going to work them as fast as we possibly can, because I do not want to waste this charcoal. And remember that you can start working most ingots when they hit about 800 degrees. They'll stay hot enough on the anvil as long as you work quickly. So as long as you're not doing anything too fancy and you're working pretty quick, it's a handy way of getting work done while also conserving your resources. And there you go, 4 tools, 1 piece of coal. Let's go ahead and get our backup hammer and our second pickaxe going. And I realize this is going to be somewhat of a waste of charcoal, but you know what? Maybe we could make something else. What else could we make? You know what? I think we're going to go through our shovel pretty quickly and our axe. So maybe we'll do one more of each of those as well. And just save on our charcoal for now and get it all done. And while that's all heating, I want to take my brand new saw, and we're going to go ahead and make a shelf and just see whether and how much this actually extends our food's shelf life. Oh right, we can't do it that way. Let's put you there. How long do you last? You don't even say. Okay, that's kind of cruel. Food perish speed 0.97. Now if we were to cut this off from the outside, how much would this change? 0.26, okay. So let's go ahead and we will indeed leave that in there. And for now, we will just open and close this with dirt. And there we go. We have our first set of tools all made down here. And I don't have any more sticks left, but that's okay because we have some shears with 9,500 durability. We can cut a lot of leaves with this guy. You know, I kind of want to go see who's making all this racket and where. Oh, you're right there? Oh my goodness. Come on, buddy. Okay, run away. Go for it. Oh, you jerk. Trying to knock me off, are you? We'll fix you eventually. We will fix you eventually. Alright. Well, that's fun. Alright, and I think the last couple things I want to do before we call it a night here are we need to make ourselves some more chests, definitely. And we're going to go without labels this time, I think, given what the labels did to our frame rate back at Lupine Ridge. And we're just going to, you know what, we're going to move you. We're just going to start lining you guys up here. There we go. And we should have plenty of room for all of our junk, because we are going to have a lot of junk. I'm going to get to crafting us some more clay items. I'm thinking we're going to want some crocks, just so that we can make sure we can store our food long term. And then probably a few more vessels to store our grain and other produce that we get. So I'm going to get to it, and that will be my homework in between this episode and the next. That and probably getting more sticks, because I can't really fire these until I get more sticks. So that is what I will be doing between now and then, as well as letting our crops grow a little bit. Anyway, everyone, I just realized that the directional audio in this is based on your character's head, not the camera. Interesting. So we're getting Drifter in our right ear, because he's on this side of us. Anyway, that is about all we have time for in this episode of the Vintage Story Guide. I hope you enjoyed our little excursion around our new home, and the gathering of some basic supplies, and the bootstrapping of ourselves into basically midway through the early game. In the next couple episodes, we're going to focus on gathering the materials we need to survive, one, but also to start building our new home. And we're going to go out arranging, so I hope you are looking forward to a couple more episodes of hoofing it across the terrain. We'll also be visiting a couple different biomes, ones that we've seen while we were looking for our home, and getting a bit deeper into what resources are available there and what we can do with them, more importantly. If you have any AMA questions you'd like me to answer in a video like this one, drop them in a comment with the hashtag 20questions. Social and support links are in the description, and join our Discord server if you want to come chat and hang out and have fun. Anyway, as always, my name has been Kurazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.